Welcome to RAD CHAT. I'm your host, Brandilynn, and today my special guest is TALYA BOZZ.
Hi.
She's a makeup artist and a hairstylist. So welcome. Thank you for coming. I know it's like a crazy time in the world right now.
Yeah.
But we're going to keep the positivity going.
Yeah, for sure.
So how did you first get into makeup? How long have you been doing makeup?
It honestly just came naturally. Like,
Okay.
I didn't even think anything of it. Like, my mom, I always looked up to her growing up. And
Shout out to Mom.
she was, like, super, super into, like, keeping up with her hair and her nails and her makeup. And I was just, like, always playing in her, like, box of stuff. And one day, I think I was, like, in maybe 5th grade, like sixth grade. Yeah, I was just
Super
like,
young.
Yeah, I was just playing around. I had one of my friends over, and I'll like never forget this moment.
Oh,
but
yes.
like this was the first time I knew like I really like had something. And
Yeah.
I had a friend when we were younger, and like she didn't have like the best skin, and we were, you know, so I was like kind of experimenting, just being young and like playing and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And after I did her makeup, we walked downstairs, and my mom, like, her, like, jaw dropped.
Really?
And she was like, "Did you just do that to her?"
Oh.
And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like,
awesome.
"Tall, like, that's amazing. Like, you made that look so good."
Wow.
And, like, being so young, like, I was just like, "Really? Like, oh my God, that's awesome." Like, I just,
you, like, lit up just like you remembering that moment.
Yeah.
It just made my heart so
yeah.
warm.
And it made not only, like, me feel good because my mom like recognized it, but like my friend felt like so
empowered, I bet.
Yeah, and like pretty, and like as young as you are, it doesn't matter, like as a female, like you always, it doesn't matter, like especially nowadays, like
you want to feel pretty.
Yeah, and it's getting to the point where like, you know, as time passes, like more younger girls are on the internet and are on social media and are seeing, you know, makeup artists and tutorials and are wanting to look up to girls like the Kardashians and all the models, and it's so much more in your face. So yeah, people are a lot more like into like wanting to
have a certain style and look.
Yeah, and feel good about themselves. Yeah, and just be glamorous.
Yeah, so that's awesome that you realized that when you were like in 5th grade.
Yeah.
So how did you really start going more into it then?
I just took it on as a hobby, and I just like, my mom every year would like get me like fun little like makeup kits.
Nice.
And I would just practice on my friends just for fun, like for football games and like for dances, for homecoming, turnabouts.
Oh, nice.
And it was just like more so like for like
fun.
I said, for fun.
Yeah.
And then my high school, I went to a very big high school in the suburbs of Chicago. I'm originally from Chicago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I went to Stevenson High School.
Nice. How is it to be in LA now? Is it a big culture shock difference?
It was. I mean, it was definitely changed considering I came from like a really big friend group, and I was like best friends with my parents, and I was so comfortable, and I had never even visited California. Like I'd never even been to LA before I moved here.
You just did it.
But I knew for some reason in the back of my head, like I just knew like what I wanted to do. So back to being in high school, I was always like a rebellious kind of girl. Like I never really liked to go to class. I hated school, but I was a dancer. I danced for 8 years. I was like very like creative. I drew. I loved art class. Like,
so you just have a very artistic
mindset. I was just like, my dad's a jeweler. So like my dad, you know, grew up making and, you know, designing jewelry. And I think it just kind of
resonated with
my
the family.
Nice. You know, like I said, with my mom going back with her, you know.
You have a whole full circle there.
Yeah, and my brother, I also have an older brother.
Oh, nice.
He was a musician, still does music.
That's awesome.
And he plays every instrument. So my family's just very creative.
Yeah.
And
those juices are flowing.
Exactly, yeah.
Lucky.
So when I was in high school, like I said, I was introduced as a junior in high school to a program that ran through the community college. That was about 30 minutes away. And what they did was a hands-on program, and you would get credit for going to those classes, essentially. So, like, they offered cosmetology, firefighting, and, like, culinary. Nice. So you can go and you can either learn, like, cooking or, you know, like I said, like, doing the firefighting thing or hair and cosmetology and stuff. It was a very hands-on
approach to
program. And so when I found out that I got to do that, I was like, oh my God, like I jumped.
Because you already were into it.
Yeah, I jumped on it. I was like, hell yeah, I would way more rather like go and do something that I love than like sit in like a math class or an English class or whatever. So
it's more enticing for you to even go to school. If
exactly,
not really
exactly. So I would go to school every day, and then there was a bus that would pick us up and like
half day go to the next
take
school.
Us to this area, and then I would be there for 4 periods.
Nice.
And then I would come back to school
and finish the
halfway of lunch, and then finish the rest of my stuff. So I did that for my junior and senior year. It was a 2-year program, and after I graduated and I did the whole like hair and cosmetology thing, I graduated high school, and then I just felt kind of like stuck in a sense. Like I liked doing cosmetology, but I didn't realize that it was more so focused on like the anatomy and like biology and like hair and like skin and nails and like I do love doing hair. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll still do it. Yeah. But I have so much more of a passion for doing makeup.
Because you probably be more creative. You can do so much with someone's hair.
Exactly. And they're just two completely different art. And so when I graduated, I gave it a shot, and I worked in a salon. You know, I was very plugged because my mom was so like
already kind of knew the form.
Yeah, she was in with her. She was best friends with the girls at the salon, and you know, so I had like an in.
You had a good culture to start you off in, being it's a new realm for you.
Yeah, exactly. Nice. So I got to go and like work in a salon, assisting, and I got to, you know, wash hair and kind of like experience that. And then I realized after 2 years that I didn't really like that environment. You know, I'm not a competitive person. Is that I am and I'm not. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's room in the world for everybody to kind of excel and do what they love. And in a lot of salons, it can get very catty and competitive.
Of getting clients and stuff?
Yeah, and it was also just the lack of my love for doing like certain things in there. You know, I wanted to do makeup. I wanted to be more hands-on. I wanted to have my own clients. And
which is a little limited, I'm sure, in a salon.
Right. And at the same time, I was, 18, 19. I wasn't really taking it too seriously, and I was partying, and
as any young girl should do.
Right.
Young adult should do.
Right. I just kind of, and then there was just this like spark in me like my whole life that I knew that I wanted to go and I wanted to do more with my life.
That's awesome that you already felt that, like, there's more out there for me.
Right. And then even though I'd never been to LA, I was like, you know what? Los Angeles, Hollywood, California, that is where the industry is. Like, if I want to do makeup and I want to take myself seriously, that's where I'm going to want to go.
So how did you make that transition?
So something that I knew that I wanted to do, and I got kind of stuck in, like I said, I got stuck in a rut where I was just kind of like working in the salon, but then I was partying, and I was just like really not seeing myself going anywhere. And then through a group of friends that I had in the music industry. I was also very, very into music. Like I said, my older brother was a musician. He was in a metal band.
Oh, shit.
So,
I love rock music.
Yeah. So,
I love it.
So in high school, I was also in that whole, like, that also ties into the creativeness side of, like, music and art and all of that. Yeah. And I got to meet a lot of different people from a lot of different high schools that were in the same kind of community of that music. Nice. And,
which is very empowering to be in a community of people with like-minded music because they share that bond.
Exactly. Yeah. So I had friends that were doing metal music and were in that whole world, and I met a girl who is now one of my best friends.
Oh, still to this day?
Yes.
Aww.
And her name is Neomza.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, she actually she is a huge part of my life.
Yeah.
I met her when I was 19 and she was 17.
Oh.
And
you're still friends now?
Well, we actually live together now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, I love it.
So we met in Chicago through our mutual friends.
Nice.
And went to different high schools, and we just clicked right off the bat. And she was very different. She was also very creative and very she's a singer.
Oh, okay.
So she's a singer, she's a songwriter.
Oh, that's awesome.
And she was big on YouTube.
Oh, nice.
And she didn't, really connect with a lot of people in her high school because they kind of were, hating on her talents and how, how catty it is back in
high school, man. I would never go back to high school. I hated
high
school.
Right. But this was even after high school, and I was unbiased. I just met her and I thought she was amazing, and I thought she was talented, and
girls supporting girls.
Exactly. I believed in her, and she saw that I loved makeup, and we just kind of
started working together.
Yeah, we just formed this connection, and then we always talked about moving to LA together and doing the whole thing.
Together.
We did.
Oh,
yeah.
This is a great story.
But what's even greater about it is we did meet and we formed this connection. But as she was on YouTube, Mac Miller discovered her.
Oh shit!
And he actually took her under his wing.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
And
rest in peace to the
rest in peace to one of the greatest.
Yeah.
But he believed in her.
Oh my god.
He was one of the only other people that believed in her just as much as me and her family did.
Oh my god.
And so that was a really cool experience
That's
to just
yeah.
see him believe in her. And I was the first one actually to move to LA. So after me and her became best friends and hung out every day and did that whole thing, I moved out here.
Did you move by yourself at first?
Yeah, I was just completely alone. I didn't know anybody.
Girl, me too. I did the same thing.
Yeah, I didn't know anyone, and it was trying.
It's kind of scary, right?
Really, just like I said, because I came from a very,
And you came from a nurturing family.
Close.
You guys are all close.
Yeah.
And everyone's creative.
Yeah.
And you moved by yourself, and it's probably a little shell shock in a sense.
It was so new for me, and I was like, damn, am I even gonna make it?
We all think that.
Am I gonna last? What's gonna happen? I had no idea, But then I was so lucky, and I felt like everything happened for a reason. Me and Neomza fell into each other's lives because she started to get flown out to California from Mac to work on music.
Oh, nice.
So the first year I was living here, she would come and visit, and I would stay with her and her and Mac, and she would stay with me, and vice versa.
Oh. So you guys already bonded more over that.
Yeah. And then our whole dream was to do the whole Mario Kim thing.
Oh, okay.
And was to build with each other. And I would always do her makeup and hair for everything, which we have.
Yeah. And it's also not only friends supporting friends, but then your new collaborators supporting new collaborators, and then it's just a woman supporting women, and you're proud of each other.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was really cool, and that was extra motivating to stay out here and to be out here.
That's awesome.
And then I had another friend, Vika, who was also from Chicago.
Oh, okay.
And she
the Chicagoers are brilliant people.
Shout out still Vika.
Yes.
She is a very talented photographer, visual creator, art director,
Look her up.
Everything. But
dang, she's doing a lot.
Yeah, no, she's
awesome.
Both my roommates, Neomza and Vika, are fucking
you guys all live
power
together.
women. Yeah.
Yes,
so this is where I was coming at. Yeah. So Vika was like, I want to move out to LA, and I was like, well, I'm trying to move out of my spot because I was just in a temporary place, just because I wanted to go to school. I said, I really moved there just to go to makeup school. That was my...
What makeup school did you go to out here?
MUD.
Oh, okay.
Makeup designer, yeah.
Nice.
That was my excuse because I'd already done cosmetology. I was working in a salon, but I was like, you know what, I don't want to go to college.
Yeah.
I want to focus on makeup. Please believe in me. And my parents, they did save up the funds for college, and then they ended up using that.
Which is technically a makeup college.
For makeup school, yeah. So that was how I got out to California. And so then, my friend Vika was looking for a spot, and me and her found this amazing apartment, and I introduced Vika and Neomza, and then they didn't know each other before, but then we all moved in with each other and then just started creating. And Vika started doing all of the visual content. And we shot Neomza's first EP cover, her second EP cover.
All in your apartment together?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Just in our apartment, we had a backdrop. We were just...
Oh my God, that's
we were doing a bunch of test shoots. We were just we were just doing everything we could.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and we were around a lot of really cool people. Like Neomza was very, very plugged when she got out here because of Mac. So,
which is, I'm sure, very helpful when you're new.
It was, because living in LA, it is so much to do with who you know and who you're around and who you're connected with. And I was so fortunate enough to have really good people around me, and not just good people, but creative people that, you know, wanted to grow with you and wanted to see you succeed. And
which I'm sure they would say the same thing about you. Like, they had you also to help them grow and succeed. So you guys are all supporting each other.
Right. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we all moved in together and did all that. And, you know, Mac helped Neomza a lot, and believed in her so much to the point where, like, it was like, that's why we're still here, pretty much, you know. Like, he was helping her to live here, and she was living in our apartment. So essentially, it was like
helping all of you girls.
All of us.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, you know, after he passed, R.I.P., he was one of the greatest, a legend, really, and one of the most genuine, like, pure souls. It's kind of embarrassing to admit that I wasn't even really a fan before I met her.
Okay.
And she really showed me a lot about him and introduced me to him, and I got to know him on a more personal level. And
you will carry that longer with you, and that memory will last longer.
Exactly.
Which in the end is more powerful than anything.
Yeah. And the fact that just watching, like, him help her as much as he did,
and believe in her.
And believed in her as much as I did. That just filled, like, a whole...
Yeah. Another spot in your heart.
Yeah. So, from that, unfortunately, as it is, you know, she got to become close with Ariana Grande.
Oh, shoot.
And
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. So
that's cool, though.
Neomza and Ariana, you know, they were very, very close with
friends.
Mac, obviously, from their different situations. But they fell on each other for support, and then Neomza ended up co-writing 7 Rings.
Oh, shoot.
And
oh my gosh.
Good for
look that girl up.
Yeah, and thank you next. Yeah, NJOMZA, Neomza.
Yes.
She is very talented.
Girl, yes.
But, so I do makeup, Vika does the content, photos, videos, everything.
You guys are legit a girl squad.
Yeah.
Like, that's the girl squad every other girl wants to be a part of.
Yeah, so it's kind of, it's crazy to, like, think back and, like,
where you came from.
There's so much that's happened, and, like, I can ramble and talk about it.
Yeah, well, that, hey,
like,
girl, we
get on and off subject of other things and these things, but just, like, how it's all kind of, like, escalated. I think everything, you know, as cliche as it is to say, like, happens for a reason. And
sure.
We all think that, you know, we fell into each other's lives for that, and we've been living with each other now for 6 years.
That's awesome. That's so incredible, because I feel like I'm sure you've had this experience in high school. You kind of mentioned it a little bit, but girls can be catty and haters, and it's really hard to find true girlfriends that aren't judgmental and they don't want to get above you or under you, and that's really important, because I definitely struggled with that, like, finding really good girlfriends when I moved out here.
Yeah.
Especially in LA, you know. I come from the East Coast, so we're more, like, blunt and to your face, and I'm sure it's probably the same for you, and then 100%. You come to LA, and it's like, you don't know who's real.
Well,
and then...
Yeah, when I first moved here, like I said, I was alone, and even though, regardless, I was in a makeup class with damn near 32 females, I really only connected with, like, 1 or 2 of them.
Isn't that crazy?
Which is rare, because back home, I had my...
So many more,
Yeah, and so... Out here, you don't know what people's motives are, you know, if someone's real or if someone's not real. And I'm never the one to judge before I really get to know someone. But it is a lot more comforting to have somebody that you already know and can trust come to this place.
Yeah, that's really incredible too, because right now I feel like it's so important with the women's movement to just really have strong women around you, supporting you.
Exactly.
And just really supporting each other.
Exactly.
I think that's the greatest thing.
I think so too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm very thankful for, like, the girls that I'm surrounded by. And it's not just Neomza and Vika who I live with. I also have 3 other wonderful girls that live in my building upstairs that are also in the industry.
Nice.
One is a stylist. She styles Neomza for all of her videos. And then the other one is another singer-songwriter who is, you know,
Can I get on this floor of this building? Let me
yeah.
live here.
And then the other one is a comedian. She's
funny.
you know, she has her own thing. So, and we're all just genuinely best friends. And we build each other up and we support each other. And
I love that. That's a great, just a great thing to know that that's out there in the world. Like, that's just so positive.
Yeah.
So how do you feel like that has really helped you in doing your makeup and making your style of makeup, knowing that you have such good support system around you?
Just knowing that you're constantly having people around you that want to work with you and do things with you, and then that's going to make you just build your craft more and more, and you're going to get better, and you're going to be able to create things with your friends that like you want to be able to create, and like you're only going to get better and you're only going to excel more and more the more you do it, and the more you have those people around you that are lifting you up and that are pushing you to do it and remind you of why you're here and how far you've come. And for me, you know, it does get discouraging. Living in Los Angeles, it is not easy. It's not easy. And I can sit here and talk about how amazing the story has been, which it has, but it hasn't always been easy.
Yeah, of course.
And there has been like ups and downs, but at the end of the day, you know, if you come here and you have good people around you and you focus on what you love and what you want to do, that's really all that's what's going to keep you here.
Keep your drive going too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because do you think, so you're saying that, you know, it wasn't always easy, which I'm definitely agree, like coming out here is hard at first, especially being a transplant. Do you think when you first were coming here and you were going to MUD and the skills you learned at MUD really helped you now that you're maybe working with a little bit, you know, bigger names and bigger people that you're doing makeup on? How does that really shape you there?
I don't really think that, I mean, definitely going to MUD in school helped a lot, but I don't think it helped where I've gotten.
Okay. What do you think most helped?
I think what most helped was who I was around.
Okay.
And who I knew.
Just practicing with different people.
And to be honest, I learned more in school about the business side because I had already known how to do makeup. But what was amazing about it was that you got to work on different ethnicities, faces, face shapes, eye shapes. You got to learn, and every single day you're constantly working and you're constantly learning different things. Like, being a makeup artist is so much more than just doing your own makeup.
Yeah.
You have to know how to do other people's skin tones, matching, you know, like with it's formulas. Like, I'm always mixing foundations. Like, I'm always doing different eye looks depending on, you know, your shape and form. You can't just stamp on the same kind of makeup on everybody.
Imagine.
You know? So I think that is actually what I took a lot away from makeup school too, because it gave you the chance to really
explore
and practice.
Foundation, I guess to say.
Yes, yeah. But as far as the whole like makeup beauty thing, like I loved doing it. I thought it was fun. I always did it. But I think I learned a lot more about just like the industry.
Gotcha.
And like how you can like work on runways and TV shows. And then I learned about, you know, I learned about how you can sign up to be in the union and work on movies. And I didn't know any of that before. Yeah. And then I also got to learn prosthetics and special effects.
Oh, that's cool.
And I was really more so into beauty makeup, but then when I went to school,
that was a little more interesting.
It was like, oh, well, here's a class that you can learn how to do fake blood and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, that's fascinating. Yeah. Hell yeah, like sign me up, you know?
Cool. And it's different because not everyone's really doing that.
Yeah, and not everyone has the opportunity to learn it.
Yeah.
So whether you're good at makeup or not, go to school because it will show you more than you would think that you already think you know.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does, because for people that meet, like, I cannot do, like, I do basic makeup that I just get by with and go to work, but when, like, I have a photo shoot or something, like, I hire you guys because I can't do that shit. You guys have the art. I just kind of tell you this is what I'm going for. Make me look pretty.
Right.
And that's what's so important, because you guys have that creative juice in your head that you're like, all right, I know what to do. I have all this. So I'm sure it's very important that you have that. And that totally makes sense.
Yeah, well, and it's super different, you know, doing an everyday makeup look for someone just to go out for a date, or, you know, just for an everyday look. And then there's makeup for camera. Yeah. And then there's makeup for movies. And it's just, there's levels to it.
Do you have a favorite type of level? Like, do you, like, obviously I'm sure it's all very fun, but do you have like a favorite style you like to do?
Okay. I love clean, like really clean skin beauty.
Okay,
like,
so what does that mean for maybe people that don't know?
So I look up to like Patrick Ta, like his work is like beautiful. It's seamless. It's flawless. Mario, Kim Kardashian's makeup artist. He is absolutely amazing. I like that fresh, like beautiful, but like still very glamorous beat look, you know, like I understand the whole like contour Kim Kardashian thing was really big at first, but now I feel like it's like
kind of toned down a little
the
bit.
Dewy, really pretty skin and like
more of a glow,
sultry, like very just like still glam, like you're still wearing makeup. But like more softer. Yeah. For me, obviously, right now, I love.
Dude, you're looking glamorous.
I'm looking
at your eyes. I'm like, I want that on me.
I love doing like the cat eye for myself. That's just
the
like
wing eye. I feel like is such a classic, and I don't know if this is like a thing in the makeup industry, but I think literally pretty much everyone looks good with a cat eye. Like that wing liner, is just such a look. It's like a mood.
Transforms a girl. It really does. Like
I feel like I'm like okay.
When someone tells me I want a girl to look exotic, I'm like, all right. I got you. I will literally do this eyeliner. I'll do like the point, the eye. Like I want it to look very just like.
And I feel like lashes now have become such a big thing that like I feel like I have long eyelashes, but when I have lashes on, I'm like, oh my god, I'm a new girl.
Dude, I had my makeup on, and then before I put these lashes on, it's like still night and day. It's you know what I mean? Like
it's like another volume to it. Maybe.
Yeah, lashes always complete every look. Honestly, I could put a little bit of concealer on and a lash, and I would be good to go for the whole day. That is all I need. I don't even need concealer. I'll just put a lash on, and I'm good to go. Like all you need are lashes.
Like I saw a meme. It was like, I just need mascara and lipstick, and I'm set. And I'm like, that's true.
No, for real. Like all you need is some lashes and a nice little overlined lip, and you look fresh.
So what is an overlined lip that maybe I sometimes feel nervous to do that, and what do you think that kind of means?
Okay, so there's a difference between overlining and overlining. So I overline by I take a darker color, and I'll just do like the really, really tiny, like little outside edge, and then I'll fill in the middle with a little bit of a lighter color, so it gives dimension. So the outside of your lip is darker and the inside is lighter, so it gives you that poutier, more intense look. Whereas like some girls will just put the same color and they'll like really just like overdo it. Where there's ways of doing it without
looking too
overdoing it and having it look a little bit more natural. Because my lips definitely are not this plump.
Because I have really thin lips, and like I need some work on.
No, like, and I've done my girls' lips where they'll be like, "You just gave me lips and I didn't have them," and I'm like,
what I mean.
"Well, there's a way to do it," and
it's so interesting because you really have to have that knack for it, because like, to be honest, I am an average woman, and I can do basic makeup and I think it looks good, I can go to work and I feel confident. But when you really have a makeup artist teach you things or do your makeup, it's very transformative. Yeah, for sure. How does it feel when you're working on somebody and they come to life right in front of you, and then you feel their, oh my gosh, when they're done getting the look done?
Well, I think that's like more than half of the reason I love doing it. Yeah, I live for making women feel beautiful, because I, to be honest, came from I was never a cute girl growing up.
You're gorgeous.
Well, growing up I wasn't, and in middle school, like, kids really made sure to make me know that. And I was like very, very bullied. And it's stuff that I still carry, unfortunately. And it's like a lot of people are like, well, it's been this long, like, let it go. It's like, it's hard to let go, you're never gonna forget,
how people made you feel.
It's like especially when you're young and your brain is like, when you're younger, your brain is still
forming.
Mush, you know? So like when you're told certain things, that's what you're gonna believe. And, you know, I had kids, you know, poke me in the stomach in the middle of the hallways. I'd have kids write me notes telling me to kill myself. Like, kids would, you know, pull my hair out of my head. Like, I've gone through a lot. And so...
I'm so sorry.
I know. And that's... But you know what? I turned it into something beautiful. And, yeah, at the end of the day...
in a terrible way that you went through, it made you who you are.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, of course, we're human. I'm going to get insecure sometimes.
Yeah, we all do.
You're never going to escape it. Yeah. But I took what I went through and I made it into something so positive, and to be able to make a girl or a woman feel so much better about themselves, that makes me feel so whole, because like no one should ever have to feel like they're any less than what they are.
Oh my God, that's so touching. Like, that, it's so amazing. I totally agree with you, and it's so amazing that, like, you know, I sometimes just say like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go get a makeup artist, I'm gonna do my makeup, and I'm so excited for it. But it makes me feel so great that like there's makeup artists out there that also are so excited to just do my makeup and do people's makeup, and that you get so much fulfillment out of it. That's so great to hear, and I'm sure you've changed so many people's lives, and just that experience you've had with them, and I'm sure you've worked with so many cultures.
Yeah, I have, and I always try and reassure women as well that you don't need makeup. Nobody needs makeup. But at the end of the day, it makes us feel better about ourselves. And am I altering or changing your face at all? No. I'm just bringing out what you already have. I'm accentuating your beautiful features that God has already given you.
Yeah.
And that's how I look at it.
That's actually really, I'm sure, changes people's mindsets, because I didn't think of it like that. That just really opened my own mind right now.
And a lot of women, you know, they feel insecure coming into a chair and, you know, having bad skin or bad whatever that they're dealing with. And it's like, doesn't matter. You are still beautiful. Whether you're covering it up with something or whatever, you are still born with this face shape. You are still born with this eye shape. I'm just accentuating it for you. You are still beautiful, whether you see it or not. And it takes makeup to, you know, bring that out of some women. And I think there's a really beautiful...
Which is why it was created, too.
Yeah, like, it's beautiful about it. And, you know, that's what got me through a lot of like my issues, is like when I started playing with makeup, I genuinely started feeling better about myself. And I was doing it for myself and not for anybody else. You know?
I think that's probably the most also empowering, is that it's for you and it's for the people that you're doing it on, and it's to make them feel empowered.
And you know what? I work for a company and I go to houses and I do makeup for people every single day, and I don't wear 1 ounce of makeup on my face.
Oh, really?
I go with a bare face.
Oh, that's actually really cool and interesting.
And I also take that as like, it's like, I don't want you to judge what I do on my face as what I'm going to do on yours, because it's not going to be the same.
Do you feel like some people maybe do that?
Yeah, I do. Because, you know, I may come over and you may not like the way that I do. You might not want as heavy of makeup as I do. And you might be like, oh God, is she going to put that eyeliner on me, or is she going to do like that? So it's like,
actually really interesting.
I like to walk into a home and make them feel comfortable. And I don't want to ever make someone feel like less than or whatever, you know. I'm coming in fresh. Even though I'm a makeup artist, I'm still coming in as myself. And I'm here to make you feel beautiful.
Oh my God, that's like the realest story I've ever heard. It's funny because I've worked with some makeup artists and on some sets, and they usually are kind of wearing some makeup or doing their own look, but that is actually such a great perspective to have, because you do never kind of know, like, oh, are they going to do that on me? Like, it's a little like subconscious fear, and you're just cleaning that right away, and they don't even have that. Wow, what kind of made you think that in the beginning? Did you kind of know going into it you've always wanted to do that? Or did you have to kind of learn that?
I think it was just kind of something that just naturally came to me. It was just like a
natural
thought.
Had the gift.
I don't know.
That's so amazing, though. Like, I think that we're all given gifts for a reason, and that is your gift. You were given the gift to know how to do makeup, but also use your tool to empower other women.
Right.
And do you also work with any men too?
Oh, I do a lot of male grooming. I like hate name dropping. It's the worst thing ever. But I did Brody Jenner, and I got to do his male grooming for his like promotional campaigns. It was great. He was very, very nice. I did a Backstreet Boys music video.
Dude, throwback to like boy band days.
Yeah, and you know what? My 12-year-old self
got a little bit feels
like I was sitting in that back room, like hanging out with the Backstreet Boys.
That's really cool.
And I'm just like, yo, like, what is my life? But like being here for so long, it's kind of so normal that you like.
You see people around daily.
You see it so normally, and like I didn't ask for pictures. I'm not the kind of person to like.
Yeah. Plus, it's a professional business.
So it's the norm, especially because I grew up with a best friend that brought me and introduced me into that whole world at such a young age. So I've been around celebrities since I was 19.
Very normal for you.
Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely
It's cool. It's cool that you do have a big branch. Like you can do women, you can do men, girls, boys, and you're all over the spectrum.
Yeah.
Is there anything that over your years of doing this, like, do you have moments where you're like, okay, like I've really made it as a makeup artist? Like, did you have that defining moment, or did you kind of always feel like I'm really doing well, like this is just always going well?
Yeah, I think the moment I started working on celebrities,
that was the moment.
That's
cool.
I literally I would take a step back and I'd be like, damn, there are billions of other people in this world that would kill to be in my position right now. I need to appreciate this, and like as normal as it gets to be living here for so long, you have to stay humble, and you have to understand that not everybody is given this opportunity. Yeah. And you are here for a reason, and you are put in those situations for a reason. And you're like, damn, like, wow, I'm really here because I'm like really meant to be here. Like, I'm working with this person that has so much power over this whole world. Like, and it's such a it's a crazy feeling.
But I feel like also just because of all you've been through, and that you've mentioned, you know, maybe growing up was a little harder, that you're already so humble that I feel like this experience, you're always going to be humble because that's just your integrity as a person, it feels like. So it's like you're given this gift to be here and work with these celebrities because you're meant to be, and you have all these people around you that want you to be and see you grow. I'm sure it's just so amazing. Like, I'm just met you and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I feel so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
it's just so cool. Like, I just love to see and hear people's stories of where they come from, because everyone has such a different story, and we've all been through some dark times, and as you kind of shared, and it's just like, wow, you can overcome that. I'm sure some little girl could be watching this and be like, wow, like if she could do it, like I can do it. And if she went through it, because I feel like when I was a young girl, I didn't really have that. I didn't really have someone I could look up to, or that had a craft that was maybe unusual, because you think makeup is not, now maybe people have YouTube videos and tutorials, but at the time when we were probably growing up, we didn't have that.
We didn't.
And so it's like, who do we look up to, and how do we do these things? So you really put yourself out there and made your whole career. That is so empowering. Do you ever just sometimes think like, holy shit, like this is pretty, like, not only like, of course you're humble about it, but do you ever really get like, this is fucking cool? All the time.
All the time.
That's
all
awesome.
The time. Yeah, especially because like and as sad as it to say, like my dad and my brother, like they didn't really believe in like me coming out here and doing makeup. My mom was like really my biggest supporter. Because men don't understand. They don't understand the beauty industry. They don't understand how powerful it is and how on demand it is all the time.
And it's always
especially
changing,
in this city, you know. So it felt really good to prove them wrong, and like to have them be like, damn, I'm really proud of you, you know. And I think that was also another moment of realizing, damn, I am really here for a reason, and I did do the right thing, because I've come so far, and for them to like finally be like, wow, no, like you made the right decision, like that just like makes me feel like I am meant to be here. I am doing what I'm meant to do.
And probably even more accomplished. That was probably also another defining moment for you when your dad and brother thought that of you, because it's like, oh shit, like our daughter, my sister, like, really made it happen. I'm sure that would be an incredible satisfaction.
It is. And my family, they love to, like, brag about me back home and to my family.
Though?
And, like, and then I'll come home for the holidays and they'll be like, you're hanging out with this person and you've seen this person and that. And I'm just like, oh my, like, it's kind of like
not a big deal to you.
Yeah,
but to them,
but to
them,
and it's such like it's a dope feeling because, like, you know, also I didn't really share this, but growing up I was like always, my brother was like, I said it again, and he was a varsity football player, so he was always the
bigger shadow of the
Gotcha. And I was always the rebel and I never really knew what I wanted to do, and I never really, you know, he was always, you know, all the attention was on him.
You're just trying to find your way in that.
Exactly.
It could be very hard.
Exactly.
I had an older sister too, and you're kind of just living under a shadow.
So as soon as I found my way and I broke out and I proved people that doubted me wrong, that's also one of the biggest, like, accomplishments that I felt.
That's so incredible. I feel like, because also too, I think it's very rare these days where people are really close with their family, because I come from a very broken home, so when I hear people close to their families, I love it. It makes me feel so confident, like, oh my gosh, like, the love that a family brings to people is so empowering. So the fact that now you are all on the same level together is probably also so satisfactory to you.
Yeah.
It's so incredible.
Yeah.
Do you feel like now when you look back at some of the times you went through that you're like, wow, like, I really overcame that, and now I'm like, it's more, like, sometimes I feel like I look back and I'm like, wow, that really made me who I am, and you kind of, maybe it sucks that happened to you, but do you appreciate it more? Like, that grounded me.
100%. I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't put my foot down and say, I cannot live here anymore. I need to step out of my comfort zone. And I'm the kind of person that does get comfortable. And I was so scared. And that's probably why people did doubt me, because I said, I'm going to move to LA for 2 years, and I never did, and it never happened. And then I finally did, and then it was like, oh shit. And then
she's doing it now.
And then I never came back.
Oh, so you just came and then
awesome. And then I only like would come back to visit, but then every time I would come back, like, it was cool because I moved when I was 20, and then all my best friends got to experience, you know, finding themselves in Chicago and turning 21 in Chicago, and I never had that. So when I would come back, I would go to the city, and, like, all my friends would bring me out, and they'd be like, hey, it's Talya, like, we gotta show her a good time, like, she's back in town.
That's exciting.
It's the girl from, like, I just felt so, like they made me feel like this,
uplifted.
Like, fucking, like,
you're back in town.
Yeah, and, like, they, like, made me feel good because they were like, dude, you actually got out of here and you did what you did. And then I felt like my presence was appreciated so much more when I came back.
Than maybe when you originally were always there, and the comfortability. That's actually, I feel like that happens, because did you ever get noticed, like, oh, the Californian girl, like, when you moved away?
Yep.
Like, all your family's friends are like, oh, she's in California.
My
mom would just tell everyone I'm the California. I'm like, I have a name.
Yeah.
Like,
and then it would be kind of weird because some people would try and claim that they were closer with me before, and then try and, like, form like friendships with me when I'd come back home, and I'd be like,
isn't that so weird how people do that?
Well, why didn't you care about me before I moved away, and now you see what I'm doing, and now you want to be close friends with me?
Isn't that I'm like, really? Or, like, did you ever, like, girl to girl, did you ever have the experience where, like, you know, you're going through your blossoming stages in high school, and maybe you don't look like you do now, but then those guys are going in your DMs like, oh, now you want to talk.
Can I just tell you?
Now you want to talk to me.
Can I just tell you how many times that has happened to me?
It's like, terrible.
It is so, it really is. Especially, and with social media, you could see everything. The amount of people I see that look at my stories and they think that I went to high school with that literally didn't give me the time of day.
Yes,
and I don't even follow them.
No, me either.
And I'm like, all right, you can enjoy following my life all you want, but I don't, and I don't hold grudges. I'm not that kind of person, but you know what? I saw that, I see that, and I don't fuck with people that, you know,
are fake.
Yeah.
But do you feel like me personally, like, I'm the same way, like, I don't fuck with it, you didn't fuck with me then, now I'm somebody and you give a shit. But I get a slight satisfaction. I'm like, you're trying to creep on me, and I slightly am satisfied by it.
Oh, 100%. But we're human. That's how it's always going to be. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, it's like, it's especially because I was very bullied by half those kids.
Isn't it crazy? Yeah.
So, yeah, look at me now. Like,
right. I think it's a stronger sense of that because I was also pretty bullied, and I went through a time where it was pretty dark, and then you now come out of it, and you're in a positive state, and you're doing well, and you're like, huh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's pretty, I feel like that's such a common thing with people like us who maybe went through a rough time, and then now you're trying to be my friend.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I'm not buying it.
Right. And I hate to like bring like horoscopes into it because like
dude, I love astrology. Talk about astrology.
Right. But I'm a Capricorn, so I'm very
Shit, aren't you a Capricorn too? Oh shit, perfect match over here.
Right. So I'm very loyal and I'm hardworking, and if I set my mind to something and if I want something, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna want it, and and it's just who I am.
It's like I feel like, you know, obviously astrology is not a science, but it really kind of shows a little bit about the type of person you are and kind of your drives. Like, I'm a Scorpio, so we're very misunderstood.
Yeah.
And we're very intense creatures, but the same thing, we're very, like, intuitive and very, like, you know, people misconstrue us for some negative things, but there's a little, like, truth to it. Like, when you think about your zodiac, and it's like, huh. That does kind of connect with me.
Yeah, no, totally. 100%.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
So do you feel like right now where you are with makeup, and if, you know, you do hair too, you're saying, what are you doing now, or that you know, offer services, and how can people hit you up about that?
So I do independent, like I work for myself. So I book commercials, music videos, campaigns, all through just different producers that will reach out just from people that I know.
Okay.
And then directors that do music videos as well, like our friends. I have a lot of friends that work in the industry. And then I also work for a company called Glam Squad.
Oh, okay.
And we are like an on-demand kind of work, is like, it's kind of like it's an app. So it's like hair, makeup, nails.
Oh,
and
cool. I never heard of this. Is it kind of a new company?
It's been around for about 5 years.
Oh, shit. That's cool.
We started in New York. We are in Miami, Boston, LA, San Francisco, New York.
Wow.
We're expanding, but yeah, it's really popular. You just go on your phone. It's as easy as a click of an app.
Wow.
You can have.
I'm gonna download this.
Yeah, you can have someone come. Get your hair blown out, curled, done up. You could do an updo. You could just get just blow out, and you can have a makeup artist come do your makeup, and we come in at the same time. You can either schedule us an hour, you can schedule us at the same time or different times. I've worked with a nail tech and a hairdresser at the same time.
Oh, wow.
I've also just done makeup with no one else. It just depends on who's booking who.
Is it harder to do it when you have like so much going on, or you've just kind of adapted to it?
You adapt to it. Yeah.
Nice.
And it's a really nice company because we get to choose our own hours. We get to choose.
So it's really cool.
Yeah, so I can open my book when I want. I can accept whatever, appointments that come in. Like, let's say I get booked on a Friday at like 4:00, and this is Tuesday prior, and I get called from a company that's like, hey, we need you on a commercial. This is the budget. We need you from this to this. It's like, I'm going to obviously take that over the little appointment. So I'll close my book, and it'll readjust and rebook it with someone else.
Oh, so they'll continually have someone else.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's really
And
incredible.
it's never taking jobs away from you. They're still fully putting jobs in your book, but it's super flexible, and
the flexibility is probably amazing, especially because makeup artists are always like on the go, and your hours are all crazy.
Yeah, and you meet really great people. Like,
that's awesome.
I've met some amazing. I've met like loyal clients from
that to continue to follow you. Oh my god, that's great.
Yeah.
Do you think that doing both of these things is very fulfilling in the sense that you'll always continuously have work, or do you ever sometimes get afraid that maybe there's not as much work this week, or do you consistently think you pretty much keep up your work?
I think with freelancing in general, with anything, it's always up and down. It just depends on the month and what people are doing, and there's obviously going to be award seasons. They're going to be you're going to be busier, and then there's going to be months where you're going to have music videos, they're going to be back to back, and then you're going to have months that there's going to be really nothing that's going on. And it's hard to say. It's always an up and down, but that's something that every independent contractor, freelancer takes that chance on, because they love to do. Yeah, they love to do it.
I asked that just in case like someone's watching, they're trying to get into it, just to like learn more about the craft.
Yeah.
Just to see like, oh, okay, like the flexibility's there.
Yeah.
And you will have sprouts are really busy. It's good to know. I mean, if someone's trying to get into that.
Right. Well, I mean, if you want to be a hard worker, you're gonna be a hard worker. You know,
you're gonna get that grind.
And if you want to make extra money, get a nighttime bartending job. You know, if you don't feel like you're doing enough during the day, because most of the time, makeup and hair stuff is during the day, unless you're doing a late night music video shoot. But most of the time, you know, if you're on that grind, that hustle, you'll make it work.
How do you feel like it is to work on a music video set? I feel like that would be so like fun.
It is so much fun, and it really also just depends on the crew. You know, it depends on who you're around and who you work well with. And there have been sets that, you know, you don't really connect with anyone, and you're kind of sitting in the trailer alone eating lunch because you don't really know much people. But then there's other sets where you just immediately click with models, or you're already friends with people who have set up the production, and it's always different. It's always a hit or miss. But no matter what, at the end of the day, I'm always enjoying what I'm doing.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So it's great to hear that people actually love what they do. I feel like that's rare these days. People just have a job to have a job, but you like love what you do and you created what you do. Yeah. Which is even more great.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite things that you've done, like commercials or music videos, or do you have anything that your goal is to do next?
It's so crazy because when I first started, one of my biggest dreams was to do makeup for the Victoria's Secret fashion show. Oh,
and that my dream is like become a Victoria's Secret model.
Now it's not really much of a thing anymore.
But then we have some rebranding coming,
right? So. But I think that just everything that has to do with like bigger people in the industry that I've gotten to like that have trusted me to like put my hands on, and like I think that's what's like really like
just keep going for those types of
levels. Like I really I want to work with celebrities. I want to do like I said, I want to travel, and I want to
Have you traveled for makeup?
Yeah, I actually have gone on a couple tours with Neomza. I've done her makeup for her tours. Awesome. Yeah, gone to Atlanta. I've gone to Atlanta to do music videos. Nice. So we shot a music video in Puerto Rico.
Oh shoot,
that was amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah, yeah. So
that's definitely another perk of just when you really grind it out and you get all these perks of getting to go to Puerto Rico and working, that's incredible.
Well, yeah, after Neomza had met Mac, you know, obviously she had a lot of like, you know, opportunities that came, and she signed a publishing deal with Ausla through Skrillex, so she had that, and then you know, she had Mac, and then after Mac died and after a couple years, like she signed with Capitol.
Oh, wow.
So she's now, you know, in with a major label who, you know, is able to fund those
trips.
Yeah, these
That's
things.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then she takes you around to actually work and be her friend. Because you're already friends.
Yeah.
That's so incredible.
Yeah.
What a life. I can't even imagine.
And she like asked me to do her makeup for like the Seven Rings music video, and I wasn't able to do it that day, but just even having that opportunity to be on a set like that, getting her ready for the Grammys. She was sitting next to Ariana and her mom and everyone,
so incredible.
Seeing her on camera on the Grammys, and that's like
I did that face.
Who, like, you know, me, and I also have a best friend, Ariana. She's also a makeup artist and a hairstylist. Okay. And she's one of my best friends. Aww. And she actually works with one of the bigger beauty gurus, Nikita Dragon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she's her main hair girl.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's so incredible.
Yeah, but we're best friends, and we lift each other up, and we refer each other to jobs, and she's brought me on to campaigns for her, and vice versa. So we work together, we build each other up, and, you know, she'll do stuff for Neomza, and, you know, vice versa. And it's never any animosity. We're always so just like,
that's incredible. That is like what we need right now in this world. This positivity, this needs to go viral just to show that like women can support women.
Yeah, there's too much cattiness. There's like a way, there's enough to go around.
There's totally. enough to grow. And then you just form great friendships. I think in life, having a friendship is so incredible experience because there's nothing like a good friendship.
Especially a good girlfriend, because those are hard to find.
They're hard to find. It's easy to like be cool with guys and shoot the shit with them. And
exactly, because guys don't have ulterior motives.
Yeah,
a lot of females do, and I can like I don't like to be like, oh, but like I could see a lot through that, you know. Like I'm very real. I'm very like, you know.
You've been through a lot to understand like you don't have time for that.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So where can people find you if they want to book you privately or with, so we know Glam Squad, and then they can find you on Instagram. Do you have your own website?
Yeah, so I have a website, but mainly all my work is on Instagram.
Okay.
It's TeeBozz, TeeBozz.
Which we'll tag.
MUA. I have 2 accounts. One is like more of just like my personal, and then my TeeBozzMUA is all of my makeup.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then is there anything with Neomza that's coming out that you'll be in or that you
can
there's
show? There's a lot. She's releasing an album, and we've been doing a lot of stuff since the whole, you know, quarantine thing has been happening.
It's been a little crazy, guys.
Yeah.
We're safe. We're distant.
We're good. But like I said, we have a studio built into our apartment.
That's incredible.
So we've been making the best of it, and we've been trying to create content. Which is what we did with her first 2 EPs.
Which is incredible. Just like, you guys literally built the heart and soul. It's like you don't need anybody else.
Exactly.
You can do it.
Exactly.
And that's pretty cool because you always hear like labels and you know, when everyone has a hand in it, it becomes too messy in a sense. And like you guys can create the vision that you want to have.
Right.
No one has to filter it out.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming. I loved this experience.
Thank
Please
you for
do my
having me.
makeup.
Yes. No, of course. We should do we should do a video and then put it out there, and
Yes, we'll do a RAD Chat exclusive.
Yes.
Stay tuned. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. So in high school, when I was 17, we were given a project in school to like write a collage memoir type thing that would like describe where we would think we would be in the future. And I like really had no plan or like no idea. This was just like a dream that I wanted. And when I went home to visit, I actually found it, and I hadn't read it in like over I don't know how many years, but kind of brought me to tears. So it's pretty special. I wrote for my senior memoir collage, I chose to incorporate different pictures and words that describe me. Some of the pictures I included were of the city, ocean, types of makeup, glitter, some of my favorite famous people, California, and many more. I chose these pictures because they each bring out something that interests me. I'm a city girl, but I also love getting away on tropical vacations and relaxing on the beach. Makeup is a huge part of my life. It's what I love to do, and I want to spend the rest of my life being a makeup artist. The different colors and unique ways to do eye makeup amaze me. I think the eye is the most beautiful feature on a person, and it's the one area I enjoy most when doing makeup. Glitter is fun and out there, which is pretty much describes me as a person. And I love adding it to makeup to stand out more. And then I was like, I chose a picture of California because that's where I would love to end up and fulfill my dreams when I'm older.